Have you ever wondered how your mindset affects your success? Let's delve into the fascinating concept of mindset as explored by psychologist Carol Dweck in her influential book, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. Dweck proposes that there are two fundamental types of mindsets, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. These mindsets are essentially the cognitive frames through which we perceive our abilities and potential. They shape our understanding of our skills, our intelligence, and ultimately, our capacity for achievement. Let's begin with the fixed mindset. Individuals with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are set in stone. They perceive their intelligence and talents as inherent, traits, unchangeable, and finite. Success for them is a validation of their inherent intelligence. Failure, on the other hand, is a direct attack on their self-worth. It's a daunting worldview, isn't it? This perspective can limit one's potential for growth as it discourages risk-taking and learning from mistakes. Now let's consider the growth mindset. Those with a growth mindset view their abilities as malleable. They believe that their intelligence and skills can be developed and enhanced through effort, learning, and perseverance. They see success not as a confirmation of inherent talent, but as a result of their hard work and resilience. Failure, to them, is not a reflection of their worth, but an opportunity for learning and improvement. The difference between these two mindsets is remarkable, isn't it? And it's not just an abstract psychological theory, it has real-world implications. Our mindset can shape our actions, our decisions, and our relationships. It can influence our ability to learn, to adapt, and to overcome challenges. It can determine our capacity to bounce back from failure and to persist in the face of adversity. It's not just about how we view ourselves, but also how we perceive our own capacity to learn and grow. So, take a moment to reflect. Which mindset do you identify with? And more importantly, which mindset do you want to cultivate? Can you believe your way to success? That's a question that might sound a bit out of left field, but it's not as far-fetched as you might think. You see, the power of belief is a mighty force. It's like a hidden superpower that we all possess, and it can dramatically impact our mindset. Let's dig a little deeper. Picture this. Your belief system is like a compass that guides your actions. If you believe you're capable of success, you're more likely to take on challenges, persevere during tough times, and bounce back after setbacks. You're essentially setting yourself up for success. This is the concept of the self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a phrase that was coined by sociologist Robert K. Merton back in the mid-20th century. A self-fulfilling prophecy occurs when our beliefs about a situation affect our behavior in such a way that the situation unfolds exactly as we anticipated. In other words, our beliefs can become our reality. Now let's apply this to our abilities. If you believe you're a born winner, your actions will mirror that belief. You'll work harder, pursue opportunities, and push through obstacles. And guess what? You're more likely to succeed. On the flip side, if you believe you're destined for failure, well, you're less likely to put in the effort required to succeed. This isn't about wishful thinking or blind optimism, though. It's about having a realistic confidence in your abilities and the understanding that your effort can improve those abilities over time. It's about realizing that you have the power to shape your own destiny. So before you dismiss the idea of believing your way to success, take a moment to reflect on your beliefs about your abilities. Are they helping you move forward, or are they holding you back? Remember, your beliefs are not just thoughts, they are the architects of your achievements. They construct the framework for your actions, and ultimately, your success. So make sure you're building a sturdy, positive framework, because as the old saying goes, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your beliefs are not just thoughts, they are the architects of your achievements. Is success the result of talent or effort? Let's delve into this intriguing question. Effort, as described by Carol Dweck in her book, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success, plays a pivotal role in achieving success. Effort isn't just about working hard, it's about channeling your energies in the right direction, consistently and persistently, and learning from each step you take. Imagine you're reading a book. You're not just passively scanning the words on the page. No, you're actively engaging with the text, questioning, analyzing, and absorbing the information. That's effort. And it's this effort that transforms the act of reading from a passive pastime into an active learning experience. Now let's consider the two mindsets Dweck presents in her book, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset views effort as a sign of inadequacy. It's the belief that if you're truly talented or intelligent, things should come easily to you. If you have to put in effort, it means you're not good enough. On the other hand, the growth mindset embraces effort. It sees effort as a path to mastery and learning. If you're not good at something, it doesn't mean you're not talented. It simply means you need to put more effort into it. You need to practice, learn, and grow. Effort in the growth mindset is not a sign of weakness, but a stepping stone to success. So what's the takeaway? Effort is not just about hard work, it's about perseverance, resilience, and the willingness to learn and grow. It's about not giving up when things get tough, but seeing those moments as opportunities to get stronger, wiser, and better. Embrace effort. Embrace the growth mindset. Remember, talent may give you a head start, but it's effort that gets you to the finish line. Effort is the fuel that drives the engine of success. So fill up your tank, get behind the wheel, and drive your way to success. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about where you start, it's about the journey and where you end up. How do you handle obstacles on your path to success? That's an important question we all need to ask ourselves. And the answer lies more in our mindset than in the nature of the obstacles themselves. In the fascinating world of psychology, Carol Dweck introduces us to two types of mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. These mindsets, she explains, shape our perspective towards challenges and the way we overcome them. Now imagine you're walking down a path and you encounter a large boulder blocking your way. If you have a fixed mindset, you might see this boulder as an insurmountable obstacle. You might think, I'm not strong enough to move this, or I'm not smart enough to find a way around. You might even turn around and give up. In the face of challenges, the fixed mindset shrinks back, fearing failure and rejection. On the other hand, if you have a growth mindset, you see that same boulder as an opportunity. You might think, I wonder how I can get past this, or what can I learn from this situation? You see, the growth mindset thrives on challenges, seeing them as opportunities to learn and grow. It's not about avoiding failure, but about embracing the chance to improve and evolve. This doesn't mean that people with a growth mindset never fail or face difficulties. In fact, they do, but what differentiates them is their response to failure. They don't see it as a reflection of their inherent abilities, but as an experience to learn from. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of the journey towards it. So, the next time you encounter a challenge, whether it's in your personal life, your work, or your learning journey, remember to adopt a growth mindset. View it not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone. And remember, it's not about the challenge itself, but how you perceive it and what you learn from it. Challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to personal growth and success. Embrace your challenges, learn from them, and let them propel you towards your ultimate goals. Because in the end, it's all about the journey, and every challenge you overcome makes your journey that much more meaningful. How do you respond when faced with criticism? This question, although a bit uncomfortable, is essential to understanding our mindset and how it shapes our reactions. Now, let's picture this. You've poured your heart into a project, a piece of art, or maybe even a book review. You've given it your all, and then someone comes along and points out a flaw, a mistake, or simply something they didn't quite like. What's your immediate reaction? If you're in the fixed mindset camp, you might take this criticism personally. It feels like an attack, an assault on your abilities, your intelligence, or even your worth. The voice inside your head might start whispering discouraging thoughts, making you question your abilities and perhaps even dissuading you from trying again. However, if you're in the growth mindset camp, your reaction might be strikingly different. Criticism, in this case, is not a personal attack, but a tool for learning and improvement. The growth mindset sees criticism as an opportunity to get better. It's like a compass, pointing out the areas you need to work on to move towards your true north. It's a guide, a mentor, a stepping stone on your path to becoming better. This isn't to say that the growth mindset makes you immune to the sting of criticism. Of course, it still hurts. But the key difference lies in how you respond to that sting. Do you retreat, or do you use it as fuel to push forward? The growth mindset encourages us to embrace criticism, to lean into it, to learn from it. It's about recognizing that we're all works in progress, and criticism is just part of that journey. It's about understanding that every critique is a lesson, every mistake a stepping stone, and every failure is just another opportunity to grow. So the next time you face criticism, remember this: it's not a threat. It's not an attack, it's an invitation. an invitation to improve, to grow, to become a better version of yourself. Criticism is not a threat, but an invitation to improve and grow. How do you feel when others succeed? This question may stir different emotions in different people. Some feel inspired, others feel indifferent, and some, well, they might feel threatened or insecure. This difference in reaction is not random, but rather, it reveals a lot about our mindset. In Carol Dweck's insightful book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, she presents us with two distinct mindsets: the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Now let's dive into how each of these mindsets perceives the success of others. Imagine you're in a room with a friend who has just achieved something spectacular. If you possess a fixed mindset, you might feel overshadowed or threatened. You view success as a finite resource, and someone else's win feels like your loss. You may even start questioning your abilities and worth, and before long you find yourself engulfed in a cloud of self-doubt and insecurity. Now let's flip the script. Imagine you have a growth mindset. In the same room, with the same friends celebrating their success, you feel a surge of inspiration. You see their achievement not as a threat, but as proof that hard work, dedication, and resilience can yield great results. Their success becomes a beacon of possibility, lighting the path to your own potential triumphs. This difference is profound, isn't it? The fixed mindset sees the world as a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another's loss. Meanwhile, the growth mindset sees opportunities for learning and inspiration in every success story. The beauty of Dweck's work is that it provides us with a choice. We can choose to view the success of others as a threat, or we can choose to see it as an inspiration. We can choose to let it fuel our insecurities, or we can let it ignite our motivation. Remember, the success of others is not a measure of your inadequacy, but a source of inspiration. Let's choose to be inspired. Let's choose the growth mindset. Ready to shift your mindset? Welcome to the final step in our journey through Carol Dweck's revolutionary ideas about success and growth. Now, we're going to delve into the practical strategies you can implement to cultivate a growth mindset. First things first, let's talk about embracing challenges. Think of them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles in your path. When you encounter a challenge, don't shy away from it. Instead, face it head-on with curiosity and enthusiasm. Remember, every challenge is a chance to learn something new, to stretch your abilities, and to become a better version of yourself. Next, let's discuss the importance of persisting in the face of setbacks. No journey is without its bumps and detours, and the road to success is no different. But it's how you respond to these setbacks that defines your growth. Instead of allowing them to discourage you, see them as stepping stones towards your goal. Now, on to the third strategy, seeing effort as a path to mastery. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's worth emphasizing. Effort is not just about working hard, it's about working smart. It's about continually refining your skills and strategies, seeking feedback, and staying committed to your personal and professional development. Learning from criticism is another crucial aspect of embracing a growth mindset. Instead of taking it personally, use it as a tool for improvement. Listen to what others have to say, reflect on their feedback, and use it to grow. Finally, find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. When you see someone achieving great things, don't let it trigger feelings of envy or inadequacy. Instead, let their success inspire you. Learn from their journey, their struggles, and their victories. In conclusion, cultivating a growth mindset is a lifelong journey, but it's one that can significantly enhance your personal and professional life. It's about shifting your perspective, embracing challenges, persisting in the face of setbacks, seeing effort as a path to mastery, learning from criticism, and finding inspiration in others' success. The power to shape your mindset is in your hands. Embrace the journey of growth and unlock your potential for success. So, what's the verdict on your mindset? We've delved into the dual nature of mindsets, the fixed and the growth, and seen how our beliefs can shape our realities. We've explored the importance of effort, how it's not just about being smart or talented, but about pushing through, about perseverance. We've tackled the monsters that are challenges and criticism, learning that they are not stumbling blocks but stepping stones to progress. We've looked at how success, whether ours or that of others, is not a threat but a motivation, a beacon guiding us to our own potential. And finally, we've embraced the idea of a growth mindset, a perspective that allows us to constantly evolve, to learn, to grow, and to succeed. The power of a growth mindset cannot be overstated. It's the soil in which personal and professional success takes root and flourishes. Remember, your mindset is the key to your success. Nurture a growth mindset and watch how far you can go. Let's take a moment to revisit the key points we've learned today. Firstly, we discovered the dual nature of mindsets, the fixed and the growth. We examined how our beliefs hold power in shaping our realities and the significant role of effort in achieving success. Secondly, we learned the importance of embracing challenges and criticism as opportunities for growth rather than hindrances. Thirdly, we discussed how our reactions to others' success can influence our mindset, seeing it not as a threat, but as a source of motivation. And finally, we recognize the enormous potential for achieving success when we nurture and cultivate a growth mindset. Remember, your mindset is the key to your success. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep pushing forward. So as we close this chapter, I challenge you to reflect on your mindset. Is it fixed or is it growing? And remember, the choice is always yours.